Hey guys, Constance here. Welcome back to A Good Life Farm. I am throwing together a really easy slow cooker recipe today. I have a bunch of stuff that I need to get done and not a lot of time to be here in the kitchen, so it is slow cooker to the rescue. The recipe that I'm doing is a barbecued pulled chicken recipe. It is super easy, and now it's already midday, so I'm gonna cook this on high once I get it all together. But if I was starting this in the morning, I could just put it on low and let it go all day. So let's get started. Now this is a really flexible recipe, and so it doesn't really matter how much chicken you have exactly, but you want to have about 2 to 2.5 pounds, or just somewhere around there. I'm just going to take some boneless, skinless chicken breasts and drop them into my slow cooker here. You could also use chicken thighs or a mix of thighs and breasts if you wanted to do that. Now I'm going to dice up half of an onion. Next I'm going to add in a half a cup of apple cider vinegar, and this is a natural vinegar. It has a little bit of a milder flavor than your typical apple cider vinegar. Next I need a half a cup of honey. And my honey here is beginning to crystallize. It's really thick, but that won't hurt anything. It'll completely dissolve when it gets heated up. All right. Next is 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos. A quarter of a cup of tomato paste. A tablespoon and a half of some liquid smoke. I use the hickory version. A tablespoon of minced garlic, which is about 3 cloves of garlic. Two teaspoons of fish sauce. A teaspoon and a half of chili powder. A teaspoon of paprika, and you could actually use smoked paprika if you wanted to here. It would give it a completely different flavor, but it would also be amazing. About 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I use a sea salt. A teaspoon of Dijon or spicy brown mustard. 1/4 teaspoon of chipotle powder. You could also use a pinch of cayenne if you have that on hand and you don't have chipotle. And then a few grinds of some black pepper, about 1/2 teaspoon or so. So now this is a really thick mixture, but that's okay because there's going to be a lot of juice that's going to come from this chicken. And so I just kind of mix everything together. You could mix it in a separate bowl if you wanted to and then put it in here, but really the process of cooking is going to mix this all together just fine. So just kind of smear it all around. You're going to put the lid on. And we're going to cook this on high for about 2 or 3 hours. Alright, so this has been cooking for a couple of hours. So right now I'm going to grab a cutting board and I'm going to shred up the chicken and then put it back into the slow cooker. Now as I do this, if there's any chunks of fat on the edges of the chicken, because sometimes you'll have kind of little chunks of fat, I just go ahead and remove those because that chicken fat is usually pretty hard and chewy and nobody wants to eat that except maybe the dogs. We'll put this right back into the slow cooker. Alright you guys, so that is it. This super easy barbecue chicken can be served on buns. It can be served on French fries with some melted cheese. You can put it in a baked potato, a regular potato or sweet potato, whichever you like. And that is it. Now this recipe is also paleo friendly and of course gluten-free. It might be, I think it's maybe keto friendly. I'm not 100% positive. I don't do keto, so if someone does keto, they can let me know if this one is keto friendly or not. But that is it. This recipe is available on my website and you can find it linked down below underneath this video if you're watching it on YouTube or on Rumble. Thanks for hanging out with me here again in the Homestead Kitchen. My name is Constance at A Good Life Farm, and I'll talk to y'all next time.